Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Irreverent Therapists. And today's call is about generosity of spirit. Would you describe yourself as a generous person? This is not about giving money or even your time. That can have so many different motivations. This is about being generous with your very being. Are you happy when good things happen for you happen for other people? Do you separate and judge others, or are you an allowance of their choices and their way of being in the world? If you choose to be more of the energy of generosity of spirit, how would it change your world? Join the Irreverent Therapist for some tips to create more generosity of spirit for yourself and others. I love this topic.
Me too. I was just going to say that. I love this topic. So tell me, what do you love about it? Like, why is this a topic you're interested in?
Well, it has an energy to it. Now, both Pam and I work a lot with energy. Is it light? Is it heavy? Is it expansive? Is it contractive? Generosity of spirit is about getting out of the kingdom of me. I'm going to choose for me. I'm going to do this, and nobody else counts. But I want to say something right here, because this is something I would not have known before doing Access Consciousness. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean you go to the other side and you only do for others while excluding yourself.
Correct. You need to include you.
Yeah, the fifth element. Generosity of spirit is an expansion of awareness where you're included and everyone is included. And you can ask, what's going to create greater here for all of us? Yeah. And anyway, that's what I love about it.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, generosity of spirit is where I'm willing to have everything in my awareness and everyone, and choose what creates greater. And that includes me, because so often we go into, I'm going to be self-sacrificing and I'm going to do everything for everybody else. And, that, I even said the word, that's a doing.
Yes.
What we're talking about is a space of being.
Yeah.
And where you're being the generosity of spirit.
And it may invite you to choose something different. One of the things about generosity of spirit is it's not fixed. It invites you to look at other possibilities. I was trying to think of some examples, and this is, a kind of an obvious off the wall one. But, if you want to play music loudly at 3:00 in the morning, and there are other people on the other side of your apartment or whatever, hey, I'm choose to me, man. We're playing. Well, what if you asked, okay, what would it take to be able to play music and consider other people? Oh, I could use my earbuds, but it's just a different way of being in the world that doesn't discount you or anybody else.
Yeah. Well, one of the examples, I really like is Gary Douglas, who's the founder of Access. He's amazing with antiques, and he loves antiques, and he's, buying and selling them all the time. And what he'll do is he'll buy something that he knows he can make a profit on, but he'll sell it to the next antique dealer in a way that Gary's making a profit, but the other antique dealer can also still make a profit. Like, it's instead, so much of the time in business, people are looking at, well, how can I get the most out of this for me and my company?
Right.
Rather than looking at, well, what's going to allow all of us to create more and expand and get greater. And part of that is I don't have to, milk this for every single thing if it's at the expense of others.
Yes. And another Gary Douglas generosity of spirit area is horses. Now, I don't even know what to say, a beyond expert rider. And he loves horses, and he's had lots of them. And I remember he was talking about one horse in particular, Playboy, and he loved this horse, amazing, but the horse would act up a little bit with him. And he was lunging the horse, I think, and the horse kept stopping at Dr. Daney. Finally, Gary was like, you want to go with Dr. Dane? And the horse made it obvious. And he's like, but I want you as my horse. Never mind, and that's it. He's willing to be a channel for horses to go through him and go to other people.
Well, and he gifted that horse to Dane.
Yes.
Like he was like, oh, okay, this horse doesn't want to be my horse. You can have him.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, if you can get the energy of both of those examples, everybody is included and it creates. Now, yeah, Gary was sad he was going to lose Playboy, but he got another horse, or probably 15 more, and so that's a kind of a generosity of spirit. And another way that I look at myself is like, okay, if something good happens to someone, am I happy for them? If they inherit a bunch of money, if they get acknowledged or win something or just find the love of their life and they don't have time for me anymore, am I happy for them? Yeah. And if I'm not, I got to work on myself.
Yeah. Right. Because some people would be like, God, why do they get that? And I don't, I deserve that, blah, 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 blah. Instead, if you're like, wow, look what they created. I bet I could create that too. How could I create this for myself as well?
Yes. My version of it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also just that awareness of how much lighter the world is and more expansive when you do what Pam said, rather than grousing around and separating, dinging the wambulance, as Gary says.
Well, another piece of this for me is like when are we not in generosity of spirit? Yeah. Right. And that's like, if I'm making everything so vital and important and significant.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Then I have to like hold on to it and hold on to my point of view. And I don't, if I'm functioning from that scarcity, then it's very hard to have generosity of spirit.
Yes.
Whereas when I'm willing to be like, wow, I'm creating this, I'm also willing to lose it. I'm having this relationship and I'm not making it significant. Like from that space, you can start being aware of, where can I put my energy and my attention today that will create greater for all of us?
Yes.
Rather than how do I get this relationship to work out my way? Or
that's a big one in relationships. If only they would change, I'd be okay.
Right. Which is not generosity of spirit.
Not generosity of spirit.
Whereas if you're being generosity of spirit in a relationship, like you're aware of them and where they're functioning from and what they require and where you are and what you require. And you can start asking questions with them about the whole relationship, to yourself, like, and you start to perceive what's possible. What could you choose that would create greater?
Yes. Well, and I had a discussion with Pam a couple of days ago. Because a sense of lack also does not create generosity of spirit, and actually prevents you from being present and aware of what is. I was saying that, wow, I really missed these signs in this person I thought was a friend that started gaslighting me. And we were talking about how I thought I needed her because she'd done some things for me. But that's a sense of lack. How many billions of people are in the world? Yeah. Oh, if I don't cut off my awareness, then I have real choice. If I'm operating out of any kind of lack, I don't actually have choice, and I cut off my awareness.
Yeah. So, and, so what can we do to have, if you're sitting here going, this sounds great, what's generosity of spirit? How do I get some?
Well, one other thing that I want to mention is it doesn't mean that you don't take care of yourself. There was, I had two cats. One of them had to be put down. But in the beginning, one of them was driving me bonkers. Now, the cats had their own room. They had run of the house, but they had their own room with a box and water and food and a cat tree and everything. And I said, I don't know what to do, Pam. This kitty's just driving me nuts. And Pam said, well, put him in the cat room. I'm like, I can do that? I put him in the room and shut the door, which I did. He was horrified and astounded, but did it do him any harm? No. And it gave me an hour. I think he was in there an hour to just get some space and peace. And It's funny because the other cat sat right outside the closed door the whole time. You can take care of yourself. It doesn't mean stressing yourself beyond the beyond. You know, if I'd locked him in a closet, that's very different than putting him in the cat room where he has everything he actually needs, except the run of the entire house.
Well, except you, which is what he wanted at that moment.
More attention than he'd already had.
Well, and for me, there's a book called The Gift of Allowance by Gary Douglas, which
amazing book.
To me, it's like a handbook for generosity of spirit, for interesting point of view, for allowance. And, you know, again, all of this generosity of spirit doesn't make you a doormat. Marilyn talked about that beginning. It's not about taking care of everybody else and not you. It's not even taking care of, it's having you and everyone in your awareness and asking the questions of, what will this create? And will this create a greater possibility for me and for everyone?
Yeah. And it's not taking things personally.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing for not having generosity of spirit. It's allowance with what other people choose. And you still have the chance to say, well, that doesn't actually work for me. And that's okay too.
Yeah. Well, and what goes along with that also is generosity of spirit isn't holding yourself back for everybody else.
Oh, good point.
Because that's another thing we tend to do is like, well, you know, I'm going to bring everybody with me on my journey of self-discovery and possibility. And if my family member or my significant other or whoever won't come, then I'm not going to go. I'm not going to be greater. You know, generosity of spirit is I'm going to choose to be, you know, everything I can be. I'm going to be aware of everyone and what my choices are creating, and I'm not going to stop.
Right. It's all about trusting yourself. Now where I'm being the leader of your life. Now where am I going? Okay. Yeah. And as Pam said, well, that person can't go with me. That's okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So anything else? Any final words?
Trust yourself. Trust what you know to be true for you.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't judge yourself. That's the other thing. Awareness, not judgment.
Yes, always.
Always.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.